You know who it is, the horror flick digger did Super 6 Big Mitch. And I'm kicking in those with all three O's. And I'm breaking 28 101s because we Vegas sons. It's the Chronicles. And you in the Meadowlands. Yeah, you in the Meadows, man. And you already know what made me. 530. Yeah, he a desert baby. Boom! Hubba dub, scrub, 22-inch gold Dana things. These could never be McLean's, man. Nah, I'm just playing. Welcome to Vegas Chronicles with the whole Super Sis, Mr. Digger Ditch, Big Mitch. And today, like any other day, we kick ass with factuals. No additives, no preservatives. Just raw and uncut like summer sausages and crackers. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me and my platform, man. We building this castle brick by brick. Shout out to my homegirl, Boom, man. I got a few stories in the future I'm going to tell you about. You know, her, she was a legend back in her days, man. We grew up together, man, playing football and all kind of stuff up over there in the projects, man. She was a real one, man, a day one, man. Shout out to Boom, man. I got some stories about you. But, yeah, man, you know, people ask me questions and I try to answer them. But today, man, I want to talk to y'all about something, if you don't mind. If y'all just have the time. Do you have the time? Can I talk to you? Okay, thank you. I want to talk to y'all about an individual, right? Now, it's a message behind my stories, you know, and you will see why. I don't know if I brought this up before or spoke on this, but if I haven't, I am now. But I want to tell y'all a story about an individual, right? He go by the name of, they call him Nojo, right? And you could call this the Jose Easley story, all right? Nojo was a cat that, first of all, I never knew him on the street per se. I'm before his time. Nojo came around 93 after I caught my case after the Rodney King truce. I was in the county jail. That's the first time I heard his name. And, you know, it was something about when Gershons went up in the stove and, you know, took everything out the stove. He was being a little bit extra, whatever. I heard that name and I was like, who the hell is Nojo? Like that name, you know, Nojo. It's a weird name to me, you know. So as time went on, you know, I started hearing, you know, that name more frequently. Nojo, Nojo, right? And then one time, you know, I got a relative, he got into it with, you know, and I'm gonna just keep it 100 with, you know, he got into it with the wrong one. He got laid down, you know what I mean? Kicked in the face, all that, you know, and he kind of got ran off for a second. From what I hear, he became some type of crip. I don't know if that's true. Like, he started being with the NTGs and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Because an incident took place with the individual he got into it with, which was my relative, you know, and something happened to him. And he was supposed to have been with him. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not finna get into that. But I know they was into it. So, this cat Nojo, I never met him. Okay? I just heard his name. And from what I hear, he from San Diego. I guess he was a crip out there. He had to be a crip out there. Because when I did meet him, he say cuz every other word. Cuz, you know, he say cuz like a crip. So you could tell he had some type of crip affiliation in San Diego or wherever he come from, you know. And he got family members that's from the Gerson. That's how he came, you know, because he got reputable family members that's from the Gerson, you know, that was really hanging out and carrying arms, you know. So he claimed like alley shot. So to make a long story short, after he get into it with my relative, what happened was he ended up coming to the penitentiary, right? Now, I took what he did personally, because what happened to my family member, I'm not going to get into that, but it was messed up, and I didn't like it. So when Nojo came to the joint, we huddled up, and we had plans on getting him, right? Now, for some reason, he somehow still was trying to claim. I heard he turned NTG. I heard he turned 6-0. I didn't know. But when he came to the joint, he somehow tried to claim Gerson again. You know, so Honey Bear, who was a California blood, he was doing orientation in a fish tank when Nojo first came to the penitentiary, right? And Nojo approached him and asked him, who's all the Gersons on the yard? So Honey Bear got the name and all the Gersons, you know what I'm saying? Then Honey Bear asked him, well, who is you so I can let them know you back here? He said, my name Nojo. Honey Bear knew we was waiting on this cat because I always ask Honey Bear, is he back there? Is a dude named Nojo back there yet? Right? So when he told Honey Bear who he was, Honey Bear said, oh, they've been waiting on you. You Nojo? So he basically gave him the heads up unintentionally, letting Nojo know that the Gersons go get you when you come on the yard. So Nojo PC'd up. He didn't hit the yard. He PC'd up on Indian Springs yard. Okay? And this was back in 95, 96, 96. It was back in 96, 97. Somewhere up in there. 96, 97. But he PC'd up, right? He ended up going to NSP. Right? When he go to NSP, one of his relatives was on the yard that was a reputable Gerson, and I guess that's what kind of like saved him. He couldn't hit the yard we was on, but he was able to hit the yard his relative was on, seaweed. So they was at NSP, right? Now this is how Nojo get back in good with the Gersons, I guess. They get into it with the Cali boys, right? Zone Whack, who was a Gerson, spit on a Cali boy. His name was Day Day or whatever, right? It was Day Day, Dre, Roscoe, a few more of those dudes, right, from California. It was Burt, Vato Whack, I guess, I don't know if Trip Mac was the G-Boy, G-Stone, A-Ball. It was a whole bunch of them, but the Gersons got into it with the Cali boys because Zone Whack spit on the Cali boy, and the Cali boy called Zone Whack slipping, and he knocked Zone Whack out. So the Gersons took flight on the Cali boys, and No Joke was up there when it happened. So when the Gersons took flight on the Cali boys, No Joke, when they shot up the yard, No Joke wouldn't lay down. They say No Joke was going from Cali boy to Cali boy, kicking and stomping on them and stuff like that. He wouldn't lay down. That's why NSP got them long range, them shotguns that had the long barrels, so they can touch you, because of No Joke. He wouldn't lay down, So all you heard throughout the prison system is it was a Gerson dude up there named No Joke was putting in work. Woo, woo, woo. So this cat name ringing throughout the penitentiary system. Now I'm disgusted. Like they let him on the yard, they let him back in. Well, my relative who he had a conflict with on the street, he ended up coming to the joint, and I guess him and No Joke met back up at Ely. I don't know what happened. I don't know what if they talked and squashed it, but apparently my relative gave him a pass, right? So no Joke was allowed to stay. My relative gave him a pass. I wasn't tripping. You know what I mean? My relative said he was cool. I was cool. You know what I mean? So No Joke, he started making a name for himself. But one thing he did that started making me like look at him sideways was it was an OG by the name of Lamont Mitchell, OG Willie Bucket brother. Everybody know Lamont Mitchell, man. He don't mess with nobody like that, man. Lamont be doing Lamont. But, when it come to that, the Gerson, Lamont don't get into nothing. But, when it come to that, Lamont go ride. Lamont was he OG, and he elder. And I guess him and No Joke got into it at High Desert. No Joke been making a name for himself, so he got a chip on his shoulder. And him and Lamont get into it. And Lamont is an elder, man. He old. But No Joke didn't care, I guess No Joke like to put on a show. They get into it. No Joke knocked him out in front of everybody. This is OG, his triple OG. He knocked him out, So when Lamont woke up and tried to get up, didn't nobody help him up or nothing. He drunk. He clutching on to the door. He trying to stand up, and when he finally get to his feet, his equilibrium wasn't even back. No Joke walked up to him and knocked him out again. That's how he was. His own OG. And then when he seen the Gersons wasn't gonna do nothing behind what he did, Instead of doing something to him, they just sat back and talked about it. So now he got a big head. He got a big head literally, but now he big headed. You know, they sent him to Indian Springs. He get into it with another Gerson. You notice how he getting into it with all these Gersons, right? And he get into it with a Gerson named Rizon. Everybody know Rizon. Used to be with Reverend Ballhead. Rizon, he know law work real good. Rizon ain't a threat to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Rizon cool. You know what I mean? And him and Rizon got into it. You know what I mean? And in front of everybody. I think up there by Unit 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken. He knocked out Rizon. He knocked Rizon out 3 times. He knocked Rizon out. Rizon got up, he knocked him out again. Rizon got up, he knocked him out again. I forget that CO that used to work at Indian Springs, the one that had the real bad limp. Everybody know who I'm talking about. The white man with the real bad limp used to always be searching people's room. Y'all know, if y'all know what I'm talking about, put that in the chat. The one CO that had the real bad limp. He old man, always be talking, you know what I'm saying, be searching everybody's room. That's the one that woke Rizon up. Rizon was out there asleep, snoring. No joke, they knocked him out 3 times. So this is what No Joke was doing. Getting into it with youngsters. He went in the room with 2 youngsters, them click bangers, around there trying to bully them. He went up in there with 2 youngsters. Them youngsters mixed his butt up, mixed him up. Went in the room with 2 youngsters. They mixed him up. But that's what he was doing. So I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't too much care for this cat. Especially when he did what he did to Israel. Rio G, Israel real when he grew up with me. But Israel, started being, religious. He started being, about, his religion and stuff like that. He wasn't on nothing. You know what I mean? So, Nojo, he got into it with him, and he threw some hot coffee in his face, man. They supposed to be homeboys, but Nojo threw some hot coffee in his face. Then started just beating him. Just beating him. Telling them to show him come on, show me what that Gerson like. Show me what that, beating him. After he done threw some hot coffee in his so-called own homie face. See, this is his mentality. That's why I didn't like him. I didn't too much care for that dude. So when he came around me, I bullied him. When we was in Indian Springs, he knew, he already knew. When we was in High Desert, I bullied him. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I just didn't. When I feel a certain way about a person, I'm usually right. And this cat right here, he just rubbed me the wrong way. It was just something about him, man. I don't know if it was because he just bought his Cali ways out here and he was just a little bit, you know what I mean, doing a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you stand in conflict, but you stand in conflict with 90% of your homies. Every time you get into it with somebody, it's your homeboys. And you always running up talking about, what's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? Hey, cuz. Always talking about cuz or cuz and all that old stuff. And I'm like, man, go. And then look, he get Carry Arms tattooed on his back, right? Because that's what he claimed. He claimed Alley shot. He get Carry Arms tattooed on his back. And he spell it Kerry. Like, that ain't how you spell Carry Arms, dude. It's Carey. He said that's the way he spell it, Kerry. And it's big on his back. I'm talking about this dude weird. But check this out. I ended up, doing a lot of time getting out. He ended up doing about 7 years, but I ended up getting out before him, and I came down there to go home, and I had to check him before I left. I didn't like that dude, man. I didn't. I didn't care for him, man. Because I just knew it was just something about him, man. Just someone right? So when he get out, me and one of my partners together, we run into him. He fresh out. He rolling around, doing this thing. He pull up on us. We chop it up for a minute and he leave. But the whole time we was standing there talking, I was real quiet. I was just standing there because I go off energy, man, and I could just feel his energy was just off, man. It was just something I didn't like him, And to make a long story short, what ended up happening, check what this nincompoop do. You know, he get into it with, you know, some cat, man, and it came to a head up there by the brownies, man. You know, the dude he got into it with, you know, his mom, sister, brother, and they friend, you know, got into it with Nojo up there by a stove, by the brownies over there by Simmons. And, you know, I don't know what was said. I wasn't there. I'm going off what everybody heard the news say. It was an argument. Gunfire erupted. The mother was struck in the head. She was unalived. The daughter was unalived. One of the sons was unalived. And they friend, he was hit in the arm. They say when Nojo jumped back, you know, in the car after, you know, the gunfire stopped, he drove off and ran over the mom. Kept pushing. You see? You know, my thing was this here, man. That's what I be, you know, that's what I be saying, man, about Vegas. And when you let certain cats, man, you know, one thing about Vegas, you know, we didn't do that type of stuff, man. Moms was off limits. We didn't care who you was. Moms was off limits, man. That's holy ground. You don't do nothing to nobody, moms. You know what I'm saying? And my thing was, everything I felt, you know, and I'm related to chocolate. And if you know, you know. I'm related to chocolate then. My thing was, man, but that's what I be saying. When you just let anybody come in and start, like, per se, claiming your neighborhood. You know? It's sad, man. Because one thing about Vegas, it always had its own identity. And Vegas never, you know, it's intense as gang banging used to be. Anybody that used to be in this game, from 80, let's just say 86 on up, as intense as them gang wars was in the streets of Las Vegas, and we had some intense ones. As intense as these wars was, we never target each other's mothers. They was off limits, and we all knew each other. We knew where each other stayed. We knew each other's moms, and we knew not to do nothing like that, man. I don't care how much we disliked one another, or we disliked one another neighborhood. We didn't target one another mother. Let me explain something to you, and this is how you know I'm not lying. As hated as I was in this game, as known as I was in this game, my mama stayed in 909 West Washington in Marble Manor. She stayed in the coast. Everybody in West Coast, everybody in Paru, everybody in PB knew where my mama stayed. They knew who my brothers was. They knew my mama. And they never, no matter what I did over there, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm an open book. I shot up the coast a lot of times. I did. And they never once, and I had a bunch of altercations with West Coast Bloods where they seen my face and knew it was me. And they never once did anything threatening to my mama. When them Pyrus, look, I tried to walk home from juvenile trying to be tough. My parole officer dropped me off over my mama's house because he didn't want to drop me off in the Gerson. He dropped me off over my mama's house. I tried to walk through blood turf back to the Gerson and thought I was finna walk through that Paru parking lot, go through that hole in the wall by the basketball court, cross the desert, and go to the G's. This is what I'm thinking, right? Only in the perfect world. Because look, I didn't make it past Madison. I was walking up there and I told y'all a red little photo little bucket with graphics on the window pulled up on me. Playboy Boosie B got out. Boosie B was a big old youngster back in the days, man. That dude was in his teens lifting almost 400 pounds. Him and Fat Dad. There was some big youngsters about the Playboys, man. And look, he jumped out the car. Man, I was running so fast. I left my shadow right there. I was gone. So they chased me all through the area. But when I come back out on the street that I was walking up, right, because I ran through the houses and stuff like that, ran in people's backyard, they was on my helmet. I ain't gonna even lie. So when I get back on the side where I initially started, they done made some type of call or did something that brought all the Pyrus up out of Madison Terrace, and they was running up the street. You should have seen that, man. I was gone, and when look, traffic was coming up Washington, and I was coming down that street, right? When I was crossing Washington, I didn't even care about the traffic. I ran through that, and my mama, she was outside with some little kids. I ran past my mama. It was 1,000 bloods, taste. Man, look, 1,000 bloods. I was gone, man. And when I ran past my mama and I locked her, the kids, the bloods, the roaches, my shadow, and everybody else outside. I locked the door and then was looking out the window like this. All you seen was white lips looking out the window like this. And it was 1,000 bloods out there. And my mama was surrounded by them and they didn't do nothing to her. You see? They ain't do. My mama talking about, boy, open this door. I'm acting like I ain't even in the house. What you mean open the door? Man, look here. I ain't opening that door. Look, and I'm going to keep it so 100 with you. I ain't open that door. And there was so many bloods out there, my mama neighbor called the police. And when they called the police, right, when the police came up over there, the bloods were telling the police, make him walk home, bring him up. And they were saying, we ought to make you walk home. You want to be tough? You want to gangbang? You know, they were talking bad to me, right? Every time I'm making me walk home, I was sitting there looking so innocent and trying to look young. Man, they better not try to violate my civil rights like that. That's violation under the cut of all kind of laws. Trying to make me walk home, and there's all them bloods up out there. You know what I'm saying? And then the police gonna say, where you want to ride? Like I'm gonna say, nah, I don't roll with the police. They say, you want to ride? I looked at that police so serious and said, yeah, I want to ride home. I don't care what nobody say. It was 1,000 bloods up out there. But once again, they ain't do nothing to my mom. You see? See, now all this stuff started happening when we started letting all these out-of-towners and outsiders bring their culture up over here. See? That's why everything went whack. Yeah. These dudes that was already of age, that people started letting come out here and start banging their neighborhood. These dudes is already of age. These dudes already going to jail, and you finna let these dudes start claiming your neighborhood? And these dudes has already been from another neighborhood. These ain't no little kids coming up in your neighborhood getting to know you. These is adults coming to your neighborhood. And just because they got a family member or two that claim your neighborhood, they give them a pass to start claiming your neighborhood. Man, look here, man. Man, look here. I ain't gonna even go there. But that's what's wrong with the game. And I know y'all heard, I'm not gonna even speak on that. Vegas, pray for Vegas, man. Pray for Vegas. They really think it don't go on out here, man. They really think it don't go down out here. Like it don't go on, like we just desolate. Man, what they just put on the news, what was that, yesterday, the day before yesterday? Man, this cats out here ain't no joke, man. It's been going down out here, man. For real. And this is the exact same thing that I be coming out on my videos and I be talking about, man. That I be trying to address, man. Stuff like this. This thing is crazy, man. And if anybody really decide to play this game after what they been hearing going on, man, you got to be the most foolish person in the world, man. Ain't no honor in this. Ain't no loyalty in this, man. Ain't no honor amongst thieves, man, up in this game. For real, man. For real. For real. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't play this game, man. Youngster, don't play this game. These cats out in these streets, man, they don't love nothing. Ain't no such thing as honor to them. It's not, man. They'll watch you accumulate everything you got. They'll watch you do it. Some of them will help you get what you got. And then as soon as you turn your back, they'll get you for what you got. That's how the game is now, man. So you got to be very careful who you keep company with, man. My thing to you, man, it's about that time. Get with your family, man. Invest in your family. And I promise you, if you raise your kids and you really in your children's life, you ain't gonna have enough time to do nothing else, man. Even if you got one child, if you really raising your child and you really in your child life, you not gonna have enough time to do nothing else, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you wanna put in work and you wanna prove you a man, and if you wanna prove you tough and all this other stuff, this validity stuff y'all seek to give y'all that type of self assurance that y'all so desperately need for some reason, then raise your kids. Because I'm gonna tell you something. That type of work, you know, that type of feeling, that type of being tough, man, is priceless. Can't nobody take that from you. See? But when you neglect that, because you so focused on your homeboys and what's going on in these streets, because you out here chasing that fast dollar or that fast life or that fake, fictitious fantasy, then you don't do nothing but set the stage for the continuation of recidivism and the cycle of violence to continue. Because 9 times out of 10, your little brother, God forbid your son, they gonna get infected with the same genocidal behavior that you got infected with. That's gonna lead them down the same self-destructive paths that you succumbed to. But hey, I'm just a messenger though. I'm keeping it real.